Coco Gauff posts social media message after being knocked out of the WTA Finals in the group stage. Coco Gauff season is officially over, having been knocked out of the WTA Finals at the round-robin stage. It marked a disappointing title defense from the American, but an unsurprising one given how inconsistent her form has been all year really. Despite winning Roland Garros in triumphant fashion, 2025 has been marred by relentless and glaring issues, particularly with her forehand and serve. These struggles prompted Gauff to hire a biomechanics coach, uprooting her entire coaching staff on the eve of the U.S. Open. At just 21 years old, there is still so much time for this young superstar to continue developing. This early exit from the WTA Finals will now finally allow her ample time needed to start working with Gavin McMillan and focus on what needs fixing. Coco Gauff posts first message after losing to Aryna Sabalenka at WTA Finals. Having been well beaten by Aryna Sabalenka, Coco Gauff's WTA Finals run came to an end. Despite a comfortable victory over Jasmine Paolini, losses to the world number 1 and Jessica Pegula saw her dumped out in the group stage of an event she shocked the world to win this time last year. View Instagram post. However, despite the obvious disappointment of this early exit, it feels like Gauff will be happy to see the season come to an end earlier, even if it is just by a day or two. She showed no signs of sadness in her Instagram post, as she would take to social media to write, "Always an honor to be a part of and compete against the top 8 in the world. Thank you, Riyadh." Tim Henman pointed out the biggest problem Gauff has during her most recent match, which Sabalenka ironically no longer suffers with. What did Aryna Sabalenka say about beating Coco Gauff? During Sabalenka's on-court interview after beating Gauff, she spoke about the struggles she faces when playing the American. And then speaking courtside with Coco Vandeweghe, the Belarusian even admitted that she had given up hope of winning the first set as she found herself 4-1 down. Sabalenka claimed, "I was already preparing for the second set, to be honest." When the lights dim early, a creative take on Coco Gauff's social media response after a WTA Finals group stage exit. She arrives in the kingdom of the year-end championship, the WTA Finals. The arena is charged, spotlights, expectation, the hush of the stands before the ball toss. She is young but not naive, seasoned but still dreaming. The opponents are among the best on the planet. The days unfold, pool play, intense matches, the relentless pace. And then, on the final day of the group stage, the elimination comes. She didn't make the knockout rounds. Perhaps a match slip, a bad start, a couple of unforced errors, the pressure that seems to stretch like a rubber band until it snaps. She walks off the court, helmet of disappointment heavy, mind racing, heart pounding. Later, in the locker room, she stares at the screen. Fans' messages, tweets, comments. The congratulation posts from earlier tournaments flicker through memory. But now there is the disappointment, the could-have-beens, and the what-ifs. She closes her eyes and exhales. In that moment she makes a decision, to post, to show the world, not just the triumphs, but the raw, honest truth of defeat. Mobile phone her post might read something like this. Asterisk, hey y'all, need a moment to breathe and speak from the heart. This wasn't the finish I hoped for. Building to the finals and falling short at the group stage hurts. I felt some things today that I haven't felt in a while. Pressure, doubt, frustration. To my supporters, you stood by me through the wins and the losses. I see you. I appreciate you. Your messages, your encouragement, your patience when I stumbled, they mean the world. To those who doubted me, I hear you too. I've heard the whispers, the predictions, the storylines of what's next without me. I don't pretend to always be perfect, far from it. This season has been a winding road, high peaks, deep valleys. But I promise this exit isn't the end. It's a stepping stone. The pain I feel isn't just regret, it's fuel. Because when you know you've given everything and still lost, you come back sharper, hungrier, more determined. I'm going to rest, regroup, learn, and return. The grind doesn't stop just because the tournament does. Thank you for believing. Get ready for what's next. We're only getting started. Why a message like this matters. For a superstar in the making, in the spotlight, even in defeat the narrative gets written, by media, by fans, by commentators. A direct message from the athlete can reclaim some of the story. Showing vulnerability can be powerful. It reminds us that even elite champions are human. It builds connection with fans who see not a flawless machine, but someone who fights, falls, and rises. Defeat in the group stage of a year-end championship also offers a unique vantage point. It's not a routine loss. It's an abrupt end when the field is elite and the margins razor-thin. By acknowledging that, the athlete signals humility and realism, not a facade of invincibility. At the same time, by pointing forward, she signals resilience and purpose. That dual message, I'm disappointed plus, I'm not defeated, resonates deeply. Context: what the season might have looked like. Imagine she had a strong start to the year. Title runs, deep runs in majors, media hype mounting. Then mid-season a dip, maybe injury, maybe inconsistent form, maybe missed opportunities. Fans and pundits begin to whisper, has she plateaued? Will the pressure get to her? The bad season allegations start to creep in. Then she qualifies for the finals. Yet the group stage begins and she struggles. First match tight, second match tougher, and third match the knockout blow. The elimination stings. The narrative threatens to pivot from next big champion to what will she become? In that moment, a social media message is not just reactionary. It's a strategic communication. To set the tone for the recovery, to control the narrative rather than have it control her. Tone and voice of her message. Authentic. She uses plain language, maybe even a little bit of self-deprecating humor. I miss some shots I wish I could take back. Gracious. She thanks her supporters, acknowledges the fans, the team, the journey. Accountable. She doesn't make excuses, well, maybe acknowledges unforced errors or conditions, but owns the defeat. Forward-looking. She emphasizes learning, growth, preparation for next time. Balanced. She doesn't try to hide the disappointment, yet doesn't wallow in it either. Possible ripple effects of such a message. Fan reaction. Many fans will respond positively, appreciating her candor. They might feel closer to her, buoyed by her humility. Media commentary. Analysts might pick up the message as part of her maturity arc. How she responds to setbacks will define her potential as much as what she wins. Athlete psychology. Posting the message might serve as a form of catharsis. Acknowledging emotions publicly can help her move on mentally.ldb.